Hi, this is Cycle 2, Week 20, Great Composers. This week we are doing Ludwig van Beethoven. And now we are transitioning from our classical music to the Romantic period. And there's actually a period in there called transitional. And that is where Beethoven falls. He doesn't fall in the classical or the Romantic, he falls right in the middle. There were a few other artists that did this, but he was so good that they almost just gave him his own category of style and music. There's a 5-minute Mozart on there. I would watch it before you play it for your class. This is probably the only one that I would say that there's maybe some questionable content, and it's not that the video is bad, it is all the truth, but he was a little bit deranged. He definitely had some mental problems, and that comes out in those videos. So you can decide for your class if you want it. You can also stop it a little bit early, and then it would be acceptable as well. Here's his picture, and then there is the lives of the musicians, and that again is probably a better, safer way to go. This one's much longer, and maybe you just want to pick out some key paragraphs from that. Again, need to read it before you read it to your class. It's way too long, but it's also questionable material in that as well. So all that being said, our 3 facts: he is the greatest composer of all time according to most people. He was born in Germany. Just a silly fact, no one knows the exact day that he was born. They can't find a birth certificate, and they can't figure it out. And then the last one is that he became deaf and composed by memory, which maybe you have your kids, cover their ears and try and sing or compose or, something like that, maybe for older kids, and kind of understand what that's like. So this week we're going to do something called the pan flute. And everyone will need a scissors. You'll need your roll of masking tape, which is in your green bin. And then you have this large bag of straws. That should be plenty for everyone. Now, some of the straws are individually wrapped. Not all of them, but some of them. So if you have bigger kids, it's no big deal. They're very easy to pop open. They come right up, just like you would a normal straw. But if you have littler kids, that is probably going to be too hard for them. So you might want a mom to open these during your class. Okay, so I just have 3 of these. So you're going to give your kid 5 to 6 straws, preferably different colors just to make it look nice, but it doesn't actually matter. They can have all one color if they want. Then they're going to take they're going to get 1 piece of masking tape. This is even a little bit long, but it's sticking to me, not that long. And then they're going to get their straws. And when they get their straws, all of these straws, because they're like those bubble tea straws, they have a sharp point. And they're not like so sharp that someone's going to cut themselves, but they are sharp enough that you want to be careful to cut that off. So you can either just cut the single point off, or you can just cut this whole part off and then put the bendy part, I'll lift this up for you in a second, where the tape's going to be, like that. Because you don't want these moving around. And so you don't want to use the bendy part up here, because then it's going to move. And that's not what you want. So those are your 2 options. You can either just cut it off, and then, so you can cut that tip, and then you can cut from this end and cut the whole bendy part off, or you can just cut this side off. So once they have their 5-ish straws, again, I think there's going to be more than enough, so you probably could do a few more if they wanted to. Cut them, and they're going to cut them into all different lengths. Okay, so it's going to start smallest and go to biggest. So it doesn't matter how many they do, but it needs to start smallest and go to the biggest. Once they're done with that, they're either going to get another piece of tape, or my tape is even big enough where I can just roll it over, and I'm going to go like that. And that's all it is. And then just grab like a Sharpie or a name label or whatever you have to write the kid's name on it so they don't get lost. These need to line up so the kids can blow. Now, the biggest thing on blowing is they can't blow into it. I'm sure a lot of these kids have done this, but you can't blow into it. You have to blow across it. So, and that's something just to like talk about too, is if you blow I mean, it makes noise, but so you can hear the differences about how I'm blowing, maybe how hard you're blowing, and those kinds of things. But this is your pan flute. Let kids take it home and enjoy it.